The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, it's a very weird progressive argument, and it as it pertains to race is always a weird one, right? Because white privilege, to me, you could look at what they're saying on paper, like, yes, yeah, I'm sure there's more black people that are harassed by the police. I'm sure there's more black people who are treated suspiciously by shop owners and the like. But the problem isn't the people who aren't treated poorly. The problem is the people who treat the people poorly. The problem is racism. The problem is not people that didn't ask to be born white or whatever they are, and they don't get harassed. So this idea of white privilege or male privilege or whatever it is, that's not the problem. You're just looking at someone who's not a victim of this particular problem that you're highlighting. But you're not looking at the perpetrators of the problem. You're making people perpetrators by simply existing and having less melanin in their skin or having their ancestors come from a geographical
it's just racism by another
It's a sneaky way of being racist.
Yeah, and then they say you can't be racist. It's not racist because you're white.
That's
right.
That's hilarious if you can't be racist against white people. That one,
that's a variation of the hold still while I hit you argument. Stop struggling while I'm hitting you.
But it's just so silly. You've just completely changed what racism means.
But what's hilarious is that mostly the people who are yelling racist are not the minorities. When I look on my Twitter or my social media or on my news, it's white on white violence.
Virtue signaling.
Yeah, it's white on white violence.
Yes.
What's mostly going on is it's elitist whites, blue state whites, college-educated whites beating up on high school-educated whites, blue-collar. It's a white-collar versus blue-collar war that's going on, and the rest of us are just kind of watching like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Well, it's also a side effect of the ability to broadcast, right? Like everyone with a Twitter handle has the ability to broadcast. Everyone with a Facebook page has the ability to pontificate and have these long, rambling, these huge statements that people put out. When you read them, it's like, how much time did you put in this? And what do you put that much time in your kids,
or your job,
or your life, or your future, or planning for your, how much do you work out a day? I mean, you just I read some people's Facebook posts. I'm like, this is a preposterous amount of effort that you put into saying virtually nothing.
But see, humans are being creative.
Yeah.
Let's see an AI do that.
Well, that's true. It is creative. It's creative in a very odd way, right? Because it's creative in that they're trying to elicit a response from people, and they're trying to raise their social value or raise their position on the social totem pole.
It's signaling, and it's easy signaling because it's the kind of thing that everybody has to agree with you on because nobody wants to be seen as a horrible person.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to make the nuanced arguments against than it is to just kind of go along.
Right. Well, it's some of it is so cliche that it seems like I know one guy who poses as a woman on Twitter, but he does it
just one.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the name? Tatiana
McGrath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Used to be Godfrey Elwick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the same guy?
I think so. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I did not. They killed his account. They killed his account
I'm not 100% sure.
For pretending to be transracial.
That's right.
They didn't.
Yeah. He basically says all the crazy stuff that the people on the left say, but he says the craziest version.
Yes.
And kind of just shows how it's okay to like. I saw a tweet from him recently. He just said, or her, that it's not okay to be white.
Yes.
That was the whole tweet.
And then some people agree, but it's so close to what they say. It's so close that it's like the most artful form of subtle parody. Because
if you replace in half of these things, if you replace the word white with black or Asian, watch the lynch mob descend upon you.
Yeah, it's a strange time in that respect. That
there's a famous old saying that if you want to see who rules over you, see who you're not allowed to criticize.
Excellent. Yeah, that's so true, right? Yeah, that's so true.